Okay, Artivators, today we're going to start building the box for our video games. You're going to have one big rectangle, that's going to be the bottom of your box, and two sets of strips, one long set and one short set. We're actually going to do a little bit of measuring on our long set first. Feel free to pause the video at any time so you guys can get caught up. When you look at your ruler, the first thing I want you to do is make sure the 0 of your ruler is on the edge of your cardboard and that it's all the way down at the bottom edge. So the 0, not the end of the ruler because the measurements start at the 0, but the 0 of your cardboard is on the edge of your long strip. So make sure that you're using your 2 long strips right now to do this measuring. And that the bottom edge of your ruler is flush. That means even with the bottom edge of your cardboard. So take a moment and make sure you have it set up correctly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a dot at 2 and 6 inches on both sets of our cardboards, both pieces of our long cardboards. So 2 and 6 inches only on the long cardboard. So go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do my second one now. I'm going to put the 0 of my ruler on the edge of my cardboard. I'm going to put the bottom edge of my cardboard flush with the bottom edge of my ruler flush with the bottom edge of my cardboard. And I'm going to make a dot at 2 and at 6. And again, this is only on your long cardboards. The short ones just leave aside for now. The next thing I want to do is put the 0 of my ruler up toward the top edge. So now I'm going to the top edge and I'm putting the 0 of my ruler at the end of the cardboard. And I want to make a mark right in the middle. So this is 8 inches long. So halfway would be, I hope you said 4 inches. So I'm going to make a mark right at the top, right in the middle at 4 inches on both pieces. So I'm going to put my 0 on the edge of my cardboard. I'm going to move my ruler so now it's up toward the top of the cardboard. I'm going to make a mark at 4 inches. And then I want you guys to draw a little box around that mark. It's probably about, you don't have to measure it, but if you wanted to, you could. It's about 1/4 of an inch wide. So did you see what I did there? I made a little box right at the edges, right around that middle line. And then what you're going to do is cut those boxes out. So I'm going to cut in, and you can use the cardboard scissors for this. And I'm going to fold it up, and I'm going to snip across. I know it's a little tricky to cut it. Just do your best. So that's about a good thickness. It's like about your width of your pinky nail. It can be a little bigger if you wanted. So I'm going to cut in. I'm going to cut in. I'm going to fold this up. And then I'm going to cut across. Okay. So I prepared my 2 long pieces. I have my 2 short pieces. And I have my base. Now we're going to glue them all together. Now on your base, you want to put your name and class code on this. I'm Miss Nasser, and whatever your class code is, whichever class this is, and flip it over so that your name is facing down because you want to be able to see it once you glue all your edges on. If you have a side of your cardboard that isn't as nice, like it has writing on it or something, maybe that's the side you put your name on. That's up to you. Okay, now we're ready to glue. So we're going to be using liquid Elmer's glue for this. Just gonna make sure mine's all shook down. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a line of glue as close to the edge of my long side of cardboard as I can, and down one of the short sides. You could actually go ahead and glue the whole thing if you want, but I'm gonna do mine in 2 pieces. And then you wanna glue your first piece on. Make sure that the dots are facing out that way, and the opening is toward the top. The part that you cut out is toward the top. And that's gonna sit right there. So the dots are facing out and the opening is toward the top. Now, this piece is gonna go right here, but it's a little bit long. I'm gonna have to cut this a little shorter. So I'm gonna hold it to where I want it to be. And I think it needs to come to right about here. So I'm gonna trim this. Only trim little bits at a time. You can always, you could make it too short. So that's my short one. It's a little curved. I'm gonna try to make that a little straighter so that it fits. Here we go. And I want to get that edge in there too. Now you're gonna need some patience for this. This is kind of like making a gingerbread house. They sometimes fall apart as you're starting to put them together. So please use your patience. Have your patience ready. Okay. Now, that one's not quite touching there, but that's okay. Now I'm going to put the glue on my other sides. Can't have too much glue. Well, I guess you could have too much glue. That just fell down, but no big deal. I'm just gonna put that together. Now I'm putting on the other long side. So again, I want to make sure the cutout part is toward the top and the dots are facing out, so are facing toward me. I'm actually going to put a little line of glue right on here, just so I have that in place. You know what, I think I'm going to do it on this side too. So dots out, the dots are out here, and the cutout is facing up. And now my last thing I have to do is slip this piece in, but you can see that it's way too long. It's not going to fit in that little area. So what I'm going to do, I hope you can see this, I'm going to hold my little short piece right where it would touch the inside of this cardboard. I'm going to make a line where it's going to touch the inside of this cardboard. So that's kind of how I know how much to cut off. And I'm going to put some glue here because I forgot to get it right there. I'm going to put a little more here. Elmer's glue is really strong, and you might be wondering, why aren't we using hot glue? Because Elmer's glue is really strong and it doesn't show. Okay, so that is the box for your video game. We're going to let those dry overnight, and we're going to be ready to put the next parts on it next week. Let it dry. At the end of the class, you can put it on the shelf over by the window, and that will be a good spot for you to store it until it dries next week. Okay, good luck.